Hi, I'm Jesslene. This video is about how to add and subtract radicals and how to simplify radical expressions. So if you don't know how to simplify a radical, just a certain radical, go and watch that video first called Simplifying Radicals, and that will help you. Simplifying radical expressions is kind of like when you learn how to combine like terms. You can't combine radicals that do not have the same radical number under the square root symbol. So for example, 2 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 5, we cannot combine because this has a square root of 3 with it and this has a square root of 5 with it. So they are not the same radical. Now, if I were to change one of them, let's say 2 square root of 5, 2 square root of 5 plus 3 square root of 5, now I can combine them because they have the same radical. And it's the same rule as combining like terms. We just combine the numbers outside the radicals, 2 plus 3, which is 5, and then we take the same radical with us that they have in common. So square root of 5. So when I simplify this radical expression, 5 square root of 5. So that would be simplifying that radical. So now let's say, for example, let's say we have 6 square root of 7 plus 5 square root of 7 minus 3 square root of 7. If we notice, we can combine all of these because they all have the same radical of square root of 7. So now we just need to follow PEMDAS, so we need to do it from left to right since it's addition and subtraction. So we do 6 plus 5, which is 11, and then 11 minus 3, which is 8. So we have 8, and then we just take that same radical that they have in common with us, 8 square root of 7. Now it gets a little difficult when you don't have the same radical. So like 2 square root of 50 minus 3 square root of 32. So we have 2 square root of 50 and minus 3 square root of 32. We can't combine these because they have different radicals. But what we can do is see if we can simplify these radicals so we can have the same radical. So I'm going to start with 2 square root of 50. And I'm going to simplify this radical. Again, if you need help simplifying radicals, go watch that video. So 50, I'm going to simplify the square root of 50, okay? So I'm doing my prime factorization tree. I'm going to do a prime factorization tree, and I'm going to find its prime factorization. So 2 times 5 times 5. So 2 times 5 times 5 is its prime factorization. I look for pairs. I find a pair of 5. So I can take out a 5 and leave a 2 in the radical. So if I take out a 5, if we notice 2 is already outside the radical, so I need to multiply what I take out by that 2. So 5, I took out a 5, so 5 times 2 is 10. So 2 square root of 50 will simplify to 10 square root of 2. Because I took out a 5, so 5 times 2 is 10, and then I still have 2 left under the radical. Now I need to do the same for 3 square root of 32. I need to simplify it. So 3 square root of 32, that means I take the square root of 32 and I find the prime factorization of 32. So I'm doing that. I'm going to find the prime factorization of 32. And I see that it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So this is the prime factorization of 32. So I'm circling pairs. So here's a pair of 2's. Oh, I have another pair. Here's another pair of 2's. So I can take out 2 2's. So I took out 1 2 here, 1 2 here, and 2 times 2 is 4. So because I have to multiply them, but I'm left with square root of 2 inside. So if I can take out 2 pairs of 2's, which 2 times 2 is 4, then I need to multiply it by the number already outside of the parentheses. So 3 times 4 is 12. So minus 12 square root of 2, because this is what's left under the radical when I take out a 2 and a 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so 4 times 3 is 12. And now if you notice, I have the same radical. So now I can just apply this to the numbers outside of the radicals. 10 minus 12 is negative 2. And then bring down that radical, square root of 2. There you go, negative 2, square root of 2. Let's do one more. Three square root of 27 plus 5 square root of 48. So we have 3 square root of 27 plus 5 square root of 48. So the first thing we want to do is simplify 3 square root of 27. 3 square root of 27, I'm going to take what's under the radical of 27 and find its prime factorization. And it's 3 times 3 times 3. So I can take out one pair of 3's. So I took out a 3 and left with a 3 inside the radical still. So if I can take out one 3, 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 square root of 3. So 3 square root of 27 becomes 9 square root of 3 because I can take out one 3 and multiply it by that number that's already outside the square root. And then have 3 left over. So now we've got to simplify 5 square root of 48. So let's see 48. 48, I'm going to find the prime factorization. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So I find the prime factorization here. I have a pair of 2's here. I have another pair of 2's here. So I can take out two 2's. And if I take out two 2's, 2 times 2 is 4. I can take out a 2 here and a 2 here. And then I multiply them together to see how much I take out. So 2 times 2 is 4, so I'm taking out 4. But 5 is on the outside already, so I took out a 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. And then what am I left in the radical? I'm left with just a 3 still. So 20 square root of 3. So now I have simplified the radicals and I have the same radical. So now I can combine the numbers outside the radicals. 9 plus 20 is 29. And then square root of 3. Great, that is how you add and subtract square roots. It's the same with subtraction. You have to find the same radical. Thank you for watching. Bye.